Not when I saw she was dead. I known it'd be trouble.
Do you believe him?
Yes, I think I do.
Me too. So, we're back to the souvenir hawkers.
Why do you not consider one of the passengers, Hastings?
The passengers? Who? Colonel Clapperton? The watertight alibi. General Forbes?
What about Mademoiselle Henderson?
Really? No.
I think perhaps she has the motive, no?
She's a lady, Poirot.
And you think, mon ami, that ladies do not commit murder?
Ladies don't get found out.
Madame Clapperton had been dead for at least 5 hours when she was found. A small amount of money and some jewelry had been taken. A string of beads was on the floor near to her bed. The door was locked and the key missing. And the hatch which gives onto the deck was open.
What are you driving at, Poirot?
Madame Clapperton had locked the door from the inside. We actually heard her say so herself.
If Mrs. Clapperton could lock the door, she could unlock it too, I suppose.
Precisely. Which leads us to the inescapable conclusion that Madame Clapperton unlocked the door and let in the murder.
Miss Henderson, I hope you don't mind me asking, but you bought an amber necklace yesterday, didn't you?
Yes, I did. How did you know that?
The captain mentioned it. He just happened to mention it. Would you mind if I had a look at it?
I'm afraid I've lost it. I must have dropped it somewhere, put it down. I don't know.
Yes. Right. Of course.
I thought Mrs. Clapperton a very unpleasant woman. In fact, I don't think anyone on board ship really liked her, but surely, who would have reason to kill her?
Mademoiselle, it is the opinion of every person on board the ship that the Colonel Clapperton would have been quite justified in taking a hatchet to her. Now, that was an expression I actually heard used. But he had an alibi. He was on shore all day with the 2 girls, and he did not return to the ship until 4 o'clock that afternoon. By which time, Madame Clapperton had been dead for many hours.
Seems to me we're back to General Forbes as our only suspect.
Bonsoir, Mademoiselle Morgan. I want, please, to ask a favor of your niece.
Our niece? Very well. Ismaili?
Good evening, Ismaili. I want to borrow somebody from you, if I may.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I shall offer you a garland from our national poet, Mr. Rudyard Kipling. Starting with the ladies. I've taken me fun where I've found it. I've roved and I've ranged in me time. I've had me picking of sweethearts, and 4 of the lot was prime. One was a half-caste widow. One was a woman from Prome. One was the wife of a Deborah de Sice. And one is a girl at home. Now,
Pardon me, Mr. Russell.
oh, that's all right. Now, I'll know a hand with the ladies.
I'm
Taking
sorry.
them all-
I have to make an announcement. If you would be good enough to sit down, sir.
You come and join us, Mr. Russell.
Ladies and gentlemen, You all know what a tragedy occurred yesterday. And I'm sure you will all want to cooperate in bringing the perpetrator of the foul crime to book. As you know, we are fortunate enough to have on board with us Mr. Hercule Poirot, who is probably known to you all as a man who has wide experience in such matters. I hope you'll listen carefully to what he has to say. Mr. Poirot.
Thank you, Captain Fowler. Mesdames, Messieurs, what I am about to do may surprise you a little. It may occur to you that I am eccentric, perhaps mad. Ah, you may say, the little Belgian detective is taking leave of his rocker, huh? But I can assure you, behind my madness is, as you English say, method. Voila. A suitcase. How uninteresting. Nothing is less interesting than a suitcase, yes? And you are right, except suitcases have contents.
It's a doll.
Yes, a doll. Except this doll is an important witness to the truth of who killed Madame Clapperton. But how is it this doll can tell us what it knows, huh? But this is a doll that can speak. You have not heard of dolls that can speak? Yes, of course you have. All we have to do is put this doll back in the suitcase, where we cannot see her. She does not like to be seen, this little lady. Do you, ma petite?
No.
Now, can you tell us anything about the death of Madame Clapperton?
What is it, John? Door's locked.
The door's locked.
Don't want to be disturbed by the stewards.
I don't want to be disturbed by the stewards.
Here.
Stop it!
Yes.
Take him to my quarters. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would clear the room. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Did I do it right, Mr. Poirot?
Oh, yes. Ma petite. It was you, General, who gave me a valuable hint with your mention of the musical stage. I puzzle, I think. And then, the evening before the crime, Colonel Clapperton pretended to give himself away. He wanted us to believe that he was a conjurer, because then it would never occur to us that he was, in fact, a ventriloquist.
And that's what he did when you heard him talking to Mrs. Clapperton through her cabin door.
Precisement. And by then, she was already dead.
Excuse me.
What about the necklace on the floor? Was it Miss Henderson's?
No. It was put there to make us think that some native thief was the killer. But that it cast suspicion on someone who really cared for him was the cruel irony. Pardon. I am sorry, mademoiselle.
He didn't do it for me. It was those girls' youth. It made him feel his slavery. He wanted to be free before it was too late.
We all have such dreams.
When did you guess it was him?
His self-control was too perfect. No matter how galling was the conduct of his wife, it never seemed to touch him. That either meant that he was so used to it that it no longer stung, or else he knew his bondage would soon be over.
It was a cruel, dirty trick you played, Monsieur Poirot.
I do not approve of murder, mademoiselle.